Good evening and welcome to Equality Pathways to Potential Growing Dreams Gala 2020 edition. My name is Jeremy Rice and I'm the manager at Equalities Farm. It's an entrepreneurial project of Equalities and I'll be one of your hosts tonight. In the year and a half that I've been out there working with Equality, I've learned how much I don't know. Every day I learn something new about what adults with disabilities are capable of. And they work really hard out there and it's just fun to see them grow. It's amazing to see how a simple job can bring different people together, people of different ages, backgrounds, abilities, all working for a common goal. I look forward to sharing more about our associates and their accomplishments during tonight's program. Also, please note that raffle tickets are going to be available for just $10 each. Winners will receive a basket of wine, and what better timing for a pandemic, right? Don't miss out on your chance to win. Joining me tonight is my co-host, Andrew.
Thanks, Jeremy. Hello, everyone. My name's Andrew Murky, and I've been an Equality Associate for 10 years and counting. My specialty is office work. I worked in mailroom at United Hardware for several years with support from Equality job coaches.
While we're not able to gather in person this year, we do appreciate you tuning in to see what we've been up to in 2020. At the outset of the year, more than 160 Equality Associates were busy working in dozens of businesses throughout the metro.
You could find Equality Associates in community centers, health clubs, hotels, grocery stores, restaurants, offices, salons, retail shops, Equality farms, and more.
When COVID hit, most of our businesses partners, they closed indefinitely, along with most of the rest of the world. Most Equality Associates stayed home for shelter in place, and many of our connections to the community were lost. To this day, some businesses remain closed, and others have been unable to bring back our associates.
Other associates were busier than ever. I would like to give a shout out to Equality Associates whose essential work at grocery stores kept them in action. Their work served their neighbors and communities by keeping store operations running effectively and keeping customers safe.
After a few weeks hiatus, essential farm workers were able to return to work as well. They had the work cut out for them, getting caught up with planting and CSA preparation. We welcomed workers back to the farm with operational adaptations in place to contend with COVID-19. Adaptations included small cohorts, masks, social distance, and frequent disinfection. The following video will highlight some of the community integration and innovation demonstrated within Equality.
Over the years, Equality has emphasized the importance of community-based employment and innovative services. Equality was the first program without walls in Minnesota. Every Equality Associate has paid work at a community business. These connections foster self-confidence and inspire individuals to pursue other dreams or aspirations. It is Equality's role to adjust and tailor our services and supports for each individual. In 2009, Equality's commitment to innovation led to the creation of our travel club program, the EQ Explorers.
So many of our associates love the travel club. I think first of all, right away, you see their face light up. I think they love to be able to experience new things. To be like everyone else, I think, is another thing that they think of, It offers them a chance to be around their peers. No offense, parents, but to get away from their parents and to feel like they are their own individual, love just to be around people and to talk to people and to see new things.
Travel offers an additional avenue through which Equality can help our associates learn and grow as individuals, as they learn and discover new things about themselves, such as problem solving, decision making, self-care needs, personal safety. Their independence and self-confidence are enhanced. The Travel Club also gives parents and caregivers the peace of mind that their individuals will be safe as they are surrounded by staff and peers that know them well. Equality's commitment to innovation continued in 2010 when we planted the seeds of an entrepreneurial project called Equality Farms. Equality Farms is a certified organic farm located on 11 acres with 3 hoop-style greenhouses. Our associates plan, plant, nurture, harvest, and market their produce and flowers under the direct supervision of a skilled job coach.
The best outcome that I think I could provide for them is a job that feels like it's achieving something. I think the three things that they really are learning is, one, how to manage themselves in a workplace. How can I work with someone else as a member of a team? The third thing that I hope that they're learning is enjoyment in the job, but ultimately how to find enjoyment in any job.
In addition, we deliver CSA shares to group homes for individuals with developmental disabilities as well as others in our community. When our world suddenly and drastically changed due to COVID-19, Equality had to pivot. Equality staff developed an educational, meaningful, and creative repertoire of remote classes.
What the remote classes started to do was just sort of some simple bonding, creative way to spend our time. What it's become is, our little family. Like, we rely on it, we look forward to it.
Oh, on February 19th, you're gonna be 40, and we're gonna have lunch.
The Zoom programs have provided the associates and their parents and Equality a way to come together in a way that we never even would have before.
Welcome everybody to Blake's Cooking Show. Let's see a show of love to those of you who have a CSA. You get a box of vegetables.
Though the associates would love to be working, I remind them that since we're not working, we might as well do something interesting with our mind.
These remote gatherings allow our associates to connect with one another again, alleviating stress, isolation, and offering a semblance of routine that is so cherished by and beneficial for our associates. With your help, Equality Pathways to Potential will continue to adapt and develop innovative service ideas and options. It is an inherent aspect of our mission and values. Equality must continue to push the status quo and to create new ways to serve our associates and their families.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you again for logging into our gala tonight. My name is Mona Patterson, and I'm the Executive Director at Equality Pathways to Potential. Though we cannot be together, it feels right to gather virtually on behalf of Equality Associates. Obviously, 2020 has been a unique time. Within the span of a few days in mid-March, nearly all of the businesses where our associates worked closed indefinitely. We're hardly unique, as most people sheltered in place, and we all have our pandemic stories. Our biggest strength, being entirely based in the community, challenges us now as we identify places to provide service and work. We're far from business as usual. 6 months later, many of our business partners remain closed or have opened at a reduced capacity. For the near future, we're taking a three-pronged approach. Approximately half of our associates have remained at or returned to work, many in competitive positions, and we support them in old and new ways. New safety procedures are in place and must be followed to ensure their risk of the virus is minimized. Other associates lost their positions or are still waiting to be recalled to former jobs. Our staff is looking for new opportunities for them in a changed work climate. When the state allowed, we began to provide recreational activities for a growing number of these associates in the community. These activities provide a social outlet, but the ultimate goal is to provide paid work to those who want it. A number of associates will not return to in-person services until the threat of COVID-19 has subsided. For this third group, we will provide a range of remote services so they can regularly connect with staff and friends. Equality Farm has been a wonderful oasis throughout the pandemic. For a few weeks, Jeremy was on his own out there, but we started to hear from some associates who wanted to get back to work, and it was spring, time to plant. As essential work, farming continued, and the farm provides outdoor, well-ventilated space where social distancing is easy. Adjustments were made to staffing and transportation to minimize risk of exposure and to ensure that COVID-19 plans were followed. A few individuals tried farm work for the first time and thrived in that new environment. As the world began to shut down and our daily interactions became fewer and more remote, I found myself considering the many things I'd always taken for granted. The ability to access my community, go to the market, the home of a friend, a restaurant and movie, music or theater venue. I love a good jigsaw puzzle, but only so much. As the time stretched on, isolation began to be a common topic of conversation during Zoom happy hours and talk shows. Along with the isolation was a sense of powerlessness. A force beyond our control was wreaking havoc on our sense of safety, security, physical and financial well-being. Isolation and powerlessness took a clear and definite emotional toll on most people. We started to hear about coping mechanisms and wellness strategies, walking, baking bread, gardening, which brings me to equality, our mission, and why it's so important for us to be able to resume and continue our work on behalf of individuals with disabilities. Because the ability to access community has never been taken for granted by individuals with disabilities. Even in so-called normal times, many individuals must consider several factors before deciding to go to dinner and a movie, for example. Do they need staff accompaniment? If so, is there anyone available? Will their desire to go to a movie fit with competing desires of their roommates? Because of staffing shortages, activities are sometimes possible only if the entire group agrees. Is there transportation available? If it's metro mobility or transit, does the service run at the time and in the location they would like to go? Is the event they wish to attend physically accessible for them? The barriers to community access that many of us are experiencing for the first time have always been there for our associates. Consider that as the proverbial dial began to turn and most people were able to decide for themselves whether to risk a trip to the store or office, the state and staff often made these decisions for people with disabilities, which makes Equality's emphasis on community-based work and activities so important. Remember those feelings of isolation and powerlessness, and know that individuals with disabilities are at risk of these feelings every day, with or without a pandemic. Often during natural disasters, the most vulnerable suffer most. We don't want our associates to take a step backward from their ability to choose community participation. We're all developing coping strategies for the next months and beyond, and Equality staff will be here for our associates to do the same. Thanks.
For Chris, his job at Lifetime with Equality was so much more than just a job. It was social interactions and a daily routine and lots of connections with friends of his that he worked with and his work team and clients and people who are working out at Lifetime and staff there.
And I just add that Chris benefits because he believes he's living the dream. When COVID hit, it was a very confusing time for him, and he became very sad and felt very isolated. We made a call to Equality that Chris was looking like he was starting to falter, and we talked to his job coach, and instantly his job coach figured out that he would set up a time for Chris to call him once a day and report 5 positive things that Chris was doing during the day. Just by having a 3 to 5 minute conversation with his job coach on his schedule every day changed things dramatically.
Where are you?
Hey, Hickman.
Hey, Hickman.
When the Zoom meetings came along, those were fabulous because Chris wadded as many Zoom meetings as humanly possible into his day. But most importantly, I think he got to connect with friends and other people that he'd worked with and staff. So that really, really had a sort of an instant improvement in his outlook, his mood, and his attitude. As soon as the afternoon session started going, the 12:30, he's in the 12:30 to 3:30 group in the community settings. It's like, well, I think I'll stay at home this weekend. So it's like, oh, so kind of moving back to more normal.
She loves the farm, and she can't wait to go to work. And it's really hard for her when she can't work. She like feels a real sense of pride about what she does there, and it seems like she feels like she's got really important work.
You guys are resilient, and because of your size, you're sort of light on your feet. You guys can move and adapt and adjust. And if something isn't working for one of your associates, you can quickly move and change and create a different environment for them.
The farm is peaceful, right? You go out there and you work, and you're oftentimes outside and you work side by side with people, but there's not a lot of conflict. It's a lot of just cooperating and working together. And she just likes that.
And she's a gregarious individual, so that delivery process and meeting new
Awesome, good
people
job.
and handing stuff off,
Thank
something
you.
that she perceives as super important for her.
The other really positive thing about equality is that you guys have managed to maintain a pretty consistent staff. It's that consistency is a glue to a program.
Oh, Andrew has really benefited from being part of equality. First of all, it's given him a real sense of pride. When people ask him what he does, he can say, I work at United Hardware in the mail room, and he can tell them what he does. He's learned also a lot of independence from the travel group. And one other thing that's very important is it's given him some real self-esteem. It gave Andrew a chance to reach his potential. His job was so well fitted for him that it played to his strengths, and he was able to really excel. And as a mother, that's one of the things that it's a dream that you have, is for your child to be able to reach their potential in their job. What else it gave him is a real sense of belonging. I think he most misses a sense of purpose since he's no longer been able to go to his job.
Oh, can you put it closer? I can only see the flower.
He loved the classes. The staff are so good. They had very interesting topics, and they make everything so much fun. And the longer he's done these Zoom classes, the more I can see he enjoys them. One of the things that's always been most important to me is that my son is happy, and he is happy every day being part of equality.
I am Kathy's guardian. Kathy and I worked together at Maple Grove Community Center. We became friends. We got to know each other. What I learned through the years of working with Kathy was that she was not in a really good place. There were some concerns I have. So I reached out to staff at Equality to find out how we go about learning about what was happening and expressing Kathy's desires, because Kathy would say to me regularly, I really want to move into a group home. I really want to learn how to cook. I would love if I could live more independently. Kathy's social worker was more than willing to work with Kathy to find a group home placement for her. She asked if I would be interested in being her guardian, and she is a great part of my family and my life, and we take care of each other and love each other.
It's been a terrific six and a half years that she's been with Equality, and it has made all the difference for her life in having regular 5-day-a-week employment. It's a consistency of a good work environment. She benefits from the other activities, from the parties, the social interactions, the trips, which she's been on 7, I think, wonderful Equality trips. It's just been wonderful what Equality has offered through these remote programming groups.
Welcome everybody to Blake's Cooking Show.
It's so fun because it keeps us busy. It keeps her busy. Here's July's calendar grid, color-coded with her Equality groups, color-coded with who the teacher is, what the access codes are, including some Special Olympics. And I think seeing the friends, I just hear such laughter.
Where's my Mindy? My Mindy's coming. There
Hi,
she
Mindy.
is.
I help her get zoomed in and then I leave, but I can hear, hi, Mindy. I can hear Mindy saying, hi, so-and-so, how was your trip? Or what did you have for lunch? There's just a real connection with her old friends, and she's made some new friendships it's been a real source of encouragement and fun for her and for the family, for her to have these groups. We thank you, Equality, again, for these 6 years of wonderful, not just work environment, but support of Mindy's whole person. So much respect for Mindy and for us and every dealing that we have with staff that we just are, I'm gonna start crying, so grateful for what you give to our family. I'm not gonna cry. Okay, thank you.
And now I'm pleased to introduce Dan Maslowski from Flatibow Auctions, who will be our auctioneer tonight. If you have attended Growing Dreams in the past few years, you know Dan is an old friend of Equality who believes in our mission. A teacher by profession, Dan has been labeled the most energetic auctioneer in the Midwest. Welcome, Dan.
Thank you, Jeremy, and good evening, everyone. I'm happy to join you this evening to help raise money for an important work done by Equality, Pathways to Potential. If you've attended in the past, you may have helped raise money for such things as a tractor, hoop house structures, some seeds, lighting equipment, and classes in horticulture. Last year, a new cooler was installed to maintain the freshness of our produce. Funds raised tonight will support farm operations as well as a couple other additions. We hope to add a goat enclosure and then some, of course, resident goats. Now, the approximate cost is $400 for a goat, okay? And the enclosure with the supplies is at $2,000. The funds raised will also be used for ongoing transportation expenses in order to allow us as much distance between our passenger and vehicles as we can. We've had to double the number of vehicles, and thus, the fuel and vehicle expenses continue to grow. The daily vehicle expense, believe it or not, is $38 a day per vehicle, and that's traveled between Maple Grove and the farm. Funds may also be used to alleviate the costs related to the impact of COVID-19. That's right, that PPE, that personal protective equipment, and disinfection materials will be needed for the foreseeable future. The cost will approach several $1,000s just in this year. Now tonight, we've come to a very important moment, a moment where we're going to ask for your help. And you have done some remarkable work in the past, but once again, we need your help. Tonight, you have an opportunity to help us raise the needed money for not only some goats for the farm, but some other things that we just mentioned. So at this time, I want you to take out your device, whether it be a laptop or a computer, and I want you to look on there where it says donate. And on there are tabs. There are $1,000, there is $500, there's $250, $150, and of course, there's another button. At any of those levels, I want you to make that donation. And I want you to feel proud of it because you are making a difference. Now remember, you need to confirm with the streaming company that you're already in process. So at this time, I want to start out at our first level of $1,000. Do I have anybody right now that would like to pledge $1,000? If so, I want you to push that button of $1,000. At this time, let's give all the people that are donating at $1,000 a big round of applause. Our next level is $500. Now, $500 comes with a little caveat, I'd say. A caveat that we have a matching grant of $5,000. So, do I have anybody that would like to help us get that $5,000 at this time at the $500 level? Pledge right now, $500. Let's give all our $500 donations a big round of applause. And our next level is $250. Do I have anybody in the room right now that would like to pledge $250 at this time? Push that button, because here we go at $250. And our last level that I want to talk about is $100. Now, I know I've got that $50 level there, but we're going to get to that in a minute. Our last level is $100. Do I have anybody that would like to pledge $100 to get us to our goal of over $15,000? At this time, pledge that $100 and push that button. Let's give everybody at $100 a big round of applause. Now, I told you about that $50 level. Let's make everybody that is watching here tonight, if you've already pledged at $1,500, or maybe you pledged $20,000, let's have everybody that is watching tonight do an additional $50, and that's what that button is all about. So at this time, let's have everybody that is watching tonight and push that $50 to make a big difference. Let's give everybody a huge round of applause. You know what? You have done remarkable work for many, many years, and you've done it again tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I'll see you back here very shortly.
Thank you so much to all our donors tonight. Dan will now help us auction off 3 very special items. Dan?
One of the events that I always like to look at all the silent auction items is Equality. They have some great items, and tonight I'm going to highlight 3 of them. But that doesn't mean you can't look at the other ones, because I would highly recommend that. The first item is a staycation in beautiful St. Paul. Now, everybody needs a getaway, especially after what's happened to us in the last 9 months. How about a short drive to St. Paul? In beautiful St. Paul, you get to stay at the St. Paul Hotel in the heart of downtown. Okay, it's close to restaurants, museums, as well as sporting venues. This vacation includes a stay at the St. Paul Hotel, a gift card for their restaurant, and the St. Paul Grill, as well as a $100 American Express card that you can use at local restaurants, theaters, or museum. Now, that's going to be a lot of fun. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, this item is going to go well over $500, maybe $700, so start bidding. And remember, there are no friends in auctions, so keep bidding. If you have to bid up a friend, you do it. All right. Item number 2 that I'm going to talk about is a 2-hour boat cruise and wine tasting for 6 on Lake Minnetonka. Now, this is at least an $800 to $900 value. Now, let our hosts, Chris and Sameen Hickman, do the driving while you and your friends enjoy the relaxing trip. Delicious wine and lovely views of Lake Minnetonka. Get out, enjoy the outside, and this is your opportunity. Right here on Lake Minnetonka, wine, cruise, beautiful scenery. What can you go wrong? Item number 3 that I want to talk about is staycation in beautiful downtown Wayzata. Now you get to stay at Hotel Landing, enjoy fine dining, lake views, and shopping. The vacation without a drive. The city of Wayzata offers fine dining, shopping, and recreation. Includes a $100 American Express gift card to use for anything you like, such as shopping or a pampering spa treatment. Now, these are all exciting items, so take a look at them, okay? Take a look at them, and then there's other silent auction items. Remember, every dollar goes right back to equality. Thank you for having me, and now I'd like to welcome back to the stage our one and only Jeremy and Andrew.
Thanks, Dan. And thank you to all our bidders.
We will now draw lucky winners of wine raffle. Winners will be posted on your screen. Congratulations to lucky winners.
I want to thank each and every one of you for attending this year's Growing Dreams Gala. Your support for equality makes such a difference in the lives of the people we serve. Please enjoy again shorts of our equality community. If you won auction items, please see checkout instructions here and at our event website.